All right, time for another episode of the Joshcast. I'm here this morning. Here's the breakfast I get from Starbucks every day. I get the Emperor's Cloud hot tea, which has the name Emperor's Cloud. There's a very spiritual, almost fairy tale notion to it. Emperor's Cloud. Like, is it a mystical cloud upon which sits an ethereal emperor who guards over the universe? Or was there an emperor one day that said, "That cloud's mine"? I don't think that's how clouds work. I don't care. I want that cloud. Get that cloud down here right now. That cloud is my cloud. I love the way that cloud looks. It's a sexy cloud. I want that cloud. We can't just go up and capture a cloud. Get it done! I am the emperor. I want that cloud. I like it. I like the fullness of the cloud. You don't see clouds like that, do you? Every day. That's a once-in-a-lifetime cloud. Don't stand there. Go up and get it. Go get a ladder and get the cloud. And he didn't last long as emperor. That particular emperor. They had to overthrow him. No, it's probably more a spiritual notion that atop the clouds since the emperor of the universe who, I don't know what it is. I'm afraid to say anything more because I don't want to come off as culturally insensitive. But then again, the name itself might inherently be culturally insensitive. I'm not the one who named it. I'm just pointing it out. It's called Emperor's Cloud Hot Tea. It might be. They may need to look at that name now that I think about it. But yes, that's my take there. Emperor's Cloud Hot Tea, and I'm also eating a reduced fat turkey bacon and egg sandwich, which I think is still not healthy. No matter what they say. Doesn't matter. Whole grain bun. No, it's still unhealthy. It is still not healthy. I read that any kind of processed meat, whether it's turkey bacon or whatever, is still not good for you. So, it's also not a very what's the word? Powerful sounding breakfast. If the most powerful man... This is the most powerful man on earth. He has the ability to lift 10 tons. He is a living god. He would like to order breakfast. What would you like? I'll get the reduced fat turkey bacon sandwich with the whole grain bread, please. You don't happen to have any Beyond Meat, do you? No? Okay. The reduced fat turkey bacon's fine. It's kind of surprising that you ordered that. Why? What's surprising about it? Well, you are the most powerful man on the world. Yeah, well, I'm watching my cholesterol. But if you were the most powerful man on the world, you wouldn't need to watch your cholesterol because you have the power! Well, I want to retain the power. I mean, I still have to watch my weight and my, what I eat like everybody else. I mean, I might be the most powerful man in the world, but I'm certainly not immortal. Oh, well, we brought you into our organization because we assumed as the most powerful man in the world, you could eat regular bacon whenever you wanted to, and that was kind of why we were attracted to you. But what does me being able to eat bacon as much as I want have anything to do with being a part of this organization? Well, it was important to us. It was important to me. I need to know that someone out there can eat bacon as much as they want without consequence. I just need to know that there's... I can't, because I have high cholesterol, but I need to know that someone can. It just makes me feel better, all right? I'm not sure how you got to be in charge of this organization, but I think, I think you need the most powerful therapist in the world. That's what I think you need. I'll bet he can't eat bacon either. I'm wondering, by the way, maybe that's why some of these supervillains want to take over the universe or harness the power of the universe. It's so they could eat whatever they want. It might not be, world domination or universal domination. Maybe that's what Skeletor wants. I want to be able to eat bacon as much as I want, even though I don't think I even have veins or arteries. Still, I want ultimate power so I don't have to worry and I can eat bacon. The name Skeletor, which was not the character's original name. I think it was Keldar, and then he got the magic acid thrown on his face or something, and then he became Skeletor. Or I think maybe was it Hordak who named him Skeletor, at least in one version of the cartoon. But I'd like to think that he came up with the name, but it must have been, did he immediately go, I am Skeletor? I think that there might have been an evolution in coming up with the name, where he might have been, saying, I must give myself a new name now that my face is a skull. I shall call myself Skull Face Person. Honey, that sounds a little redundant. Well, He-Man calls him what's more redundant than He-Man? I can be skeleton, skull. You want to call yourself skeleton, skull? Well, maybe it's on the table, but it's not necessarily the one I'm going to go with. What about Skeletor? Skeletor. That doesn't. It almost sounds cute. Oh, I don't want cute. All right. Skeletor. That sounds. I don't know that one sounds a little schmaltzy. That's schmaltzy. Skeletor, ha ha ha! Like my name just becomes a laugh. What do you think of that? Skeletor, ha ha ha! That is my name. I am Skeletor, ha ha ha! Honey, I think you're trying too hard now. I think you're right. You're right, Evelyn. Wait a minute. Your name is Evelyn? Is that just a takeoff of Evelyn? But Evelyn? That's what you get to call yourself, and you're judging me on what I call myself? Evelyn? Honey, it's clever, okay? Skeletor, skull. Ooh, Skeletor. Wait, Skeletor. Skeletor. I like that. I like that. Skeletor. Yes, it makes it sound like I meant to do all this, which I did, because I am Skeletor. Skeletor. Yes, I like that. I like Skeletor. But what happens if I need a last name? Like, for instance, let's say I'm purchasing a ticket online for an event, and it asks for a first name, last name. Very often, they will not let me buy the ticket unless I put something in for the first name and the last name. So if I only go by Skeletor, I'll have to do something in that particular situation. I could just write that as the first and last name, and I could be Skeletor. Honey, that totally destroys. You can't call yourself Skeletor. I'm not saying I would call myself Skeletor. I'm just saying if I needed to purchase a ticket for an event and it asked for a first and last name, I would use Skeletor as both in that particular case. But I wouldn't walk around going, I am Skeletor! That would be ridiculous. I don't know, honey. As soon as you do it in one place and someone sees it, that's what's going to catch on. No. Who's going to see it? The guy at the back end of the ticket purchase website is going to go Skeletor. I'll kill him. So every time you need to use a first and last name, you're going to kill anyone who sees that when you make an online purchase. Yes, because I am Skeletor. I grew up in Colorado. There was a city called Castle Rock, and there was I think it was a Castle Rock, or was it near Castle Rock? Well, no, it was Castle Rock because there was a giant mesa that looked like a castle rock, a rock that looked like a castle. And there was a used car, I don't know if it was used car, it was probably new and used car, but a car dealership that had this commercial where they had the rock actually, the giant rock actually talking. And I still remember the commercial. Come to the rock for the rock bottom deal. Come to the rock for a rock bottom deal. And the rock was actually talking. And I'd like to think that the rock can actually talk, that it's a talking rock that decided it wants to do commercials. So it's got an agent. There's more to me than just commercials. How are we doing on the theatrical front? Well, Castle. There's just not a lot of roles that call for a talking mountain. What about the never-ending story? There was a talking, well, that wasn't technically a mountain, that was a rock creature. I can stretch! I'll tell you, man, I need to get work. I gotta get work. I'm hitting rock bottom here. And that really, it was the day this podcast died. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man. It's an odd phrase. Oh, man. First of all, is that phrase even acceptable when we're trying to be more inclusive of gender? Because there are inherently male, the language is skewed male. Like the other one that comes to mind is history. His story. But oh man, I don't know. I don't know if you can change it. Oh, human. Even the word human, actually, has man at the end of it. Oh, person. Oh, person. Yeah, but it doesn't have the same poetic ring to it. Sorry, taking a sip of my Emperor's Cloud hot tea. You failed to bring me the cloud, and for this you shall die. Emperor, I've tried to explain to you, you can't grab a cloud. Can we overthrow him? Why is he still on the throne? But how am I doing emotionally? Maybe that's the real question I need to answer here. How am I doing emotionally? How am I doing emotionally? I'm in some ways doing well, I guess. I'm trying to write a show about the death of my cousin. That's what I'm trying to do. And whenever I start writing about it, I get sad. Which means I have to keep writing about it because I think it's going to help me process it. So I'm dealing with that and trying to deal with the grief, which there's such a finality about it, which is, I feel like, as I say that out loud, is a dumb thing to say. Of course, there's a finality about it, but it makes me wonder how in control of emotions I really am. Or if this is, or I'm not in control, ultimately. If I feel what I feel and it's better to, well, I know this. I feel what I feel and it's better to get out of the way and just let myself feel it. But this is, for the first time, whenever I start to kind of go there and think about it, it really affects my mood. But I don't want to avoid thinking about it either. I want to I want to face it head on. I do want to do that. But it's, a friend of mine was telling me too. I mean, this one was tragic because my cousin was only 2 years older than I was. So it's not the same as, somebody who's older, dying of natural causes, dying after, Olivia de Havilland dying at 108. There comes a point where, that's still, someone dying, it's always tragic. But there comes a point where 108, you're like, all right, well, she had a good run. But even this, the idea of qualifying tragedy, well, it's more tragic because he was younger. That's ridiculous. If I have a relationship with someone and they are no longer present and I'm grieving, then that's it. That's all there is to it. There's not a comparison to be made. And yet, I think that's what the things that people say that try to ameliorate the grief. If somebody, they lived a good life. So what? They wanted to keep living a good life. They were on a roll. Don't tell me that. Well, they lived a good life. Yeah, they wanted to live a great life, and then for the next 10 years. Boy, I feel like this podcast started very effervescent. It started on an emperor's cloud, and it ended in an emperor's depression. I'd like to figure out a way to bring this to a close that feels right. Right now in my office, we have a keyboard that we put in the back office because for some reason it was out in the front and people were walking by the windows, could see it, and didn't want people. Somebody actually even thought it was for sale because it was at the front window. So we put it in the back, and so now I'm staring at this keyboard. Not computer keyboard, by the way. I mean piano. Electronic piano. And it has a song bank that includes Happy Birthday to You, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Jingle Bells, Silent Night, Joy to the World, A Christmas Tree, When the Saints Come Marching. Wow, this is not a Jewish keyboard. This is not at all. I wonder if there are Jewish electronic keyboards that have, instead of all the Christmas songs, all the Hanukkah songs, of which there are no Hanukkah songs. So probably not. I think I just answered my question. Our only recourse is Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is the only one I can think of to come up with a Hanukkah song. We can't get John Williams on this. Just pound out 3 or 4 Hanukkah songs so that we can have something. Because normally at every choir performance during the holidays, it's 19 Christmas songs and then this one Hanukkah song. It's not even a Hanukkah song, probably. It's just, well, it sounds Jewish. Throw it in. All right, that's enough for today.